Talking about today?
It's spinach.
You mean Spanish?
Si, senor.
No, Earl, not senor. Senor is a man. Senora is a woman.
Is that right, Corey? Ask Paco. He's the one that taught us.
Now, who is Paco?
There he is, over there.
Paco, hace frío. Ponte la chamarra.
Hey, Paco, come here.
Paco, ven aquí. Boys, Dr. Chegley gave me the afternoon off to do some chores. So
but we want to find out if you're senora.
Paco, running off without your sweater. How do you expect to get rid of a cold?
Hi, Mrs. Gomez. This is my mother, Mrs. Baker.
How do you do? How long has Paco been coughing like that, Mrs. Gomez?
Over a week now, poor boy.
He should see a doctor.
I keep him home when he gets bad.
He really should be examined.
My mother should know. Yeah, she took care of the alligator on my face.
Allergy, Earl?
Yeah, she's a nurse.
A registered nurse?
Yes.
How fortunate for Paco. Perhaps if you listen a little more closely, cough again for Mrs. Baker.
Modern medicine isn't quite that simple, Mrs. Gomez. He should have a complete medical examination.
Complete? Just for a little cough? Complete is so expensive.
Good health isn't a luxury, Mrs. Gomez. I work Saturdays at the children's clinic. Bring him by tomorrow and Dr. Chegley will take a look at him.
Even a look is too expensive these days.
Not at this clinic. It only costs $1.25.
Only $1.25?
That's all.
No, thank you. That is not the kind of cheap care I wish for my Paco. He must have the best.
He will have the best. That's only a token fee. This is a free clinic.
Yeah, and you get free lollipops, too. Lollipop? Oh, boy.
Yes, all flavored.
Strawberry? Yeah, and orange and lemon and grape and red ones and all colors. Can I come, too?
If you will write down the name and address, Mrs. Baker, I will bring Paco tomorrow.
Hey, Paco. Yeah? We want to know, is Corey's mom a man or a woman in Spanish?
You left something out on this registration card.
I did?
Right there. We need your husband's first name.
Emilio.
How do you spell that? With one L or two?
Doesn't matter. The medical card will not be used.
I am really here to have the boy examined.
Sneaking out in the night to have my son examined in a free clinic?
It is broad daylight.
Don't change the subject. If you want the boy examined, why did you not ask his father for permission?
Because I know he is stubborn and hard-headed and will not give permission.
That is not true.
Then you will give permission?
No. Have you forgotten that a husband makes the decisions for the family?
Mr. Gomez.
And who was it who decided to buy a truck with a carbuncle that doesn't work?
Mrs. Gomez.
It is a carburetor. Carburetor, which shows you how much women know about making decisions.
Please, if you two don't mind.
Oh, Nurse Baker, I'm so glad to see you.
Me too. Will you take these folks inside and get this settled, Baker?
Mr. and Mrs. Gomez, would you step into the consultation room, please?
There is nothing to consult with the missus, only the mister.
We will consult with the missus as well. Mister.
This way, please.
Next.
I still say it's a wise position to obey her husband. Is that not so, Nurse Baker?
Well,
But when a husband is wrong, should a wife follow blindly?
well,
You see, she agrees with me.
You have not been listening as usual. She agrees with me.
now wait. Paco needs an examination and treatment.
I am in favor of my Paco getting treatment. But it is difficult for a man to accept charity.
Mr. Gomez, what your son receives here is not charity.
You see?
Oh? Is there a charge?
Well, there's a token fee.
Then it is charity.
Yarby says we have a problem in here. Is it settled yet?
Well,
Please, I appreciate the kind thing you tried to do. I know it is the vow of nurses and doctors to help the sick, but I also have taken a vow. The vow of a husband to pay for everything.
Well, you have it your own way, Gomez. Baker, there are patients waiting out there, and we never seem to have enough help around here. I just had to paint the throat of a 2-year-old who bites.
Doctor, that is wonderful.
What's so wonderful about an index finger that'll never go like that again?
I mean what you just said about our shortage of help. That will solve the problem with Mr. Gomez.
How?
Well, he refuses to accept our free examination.
Yes, no charity.
Then how about pay as you go?
I am willing. For Paco, anything.
Yes, for sure. If the doctor will agree, it will no longer be charity.
Well, you have it your own way.
Doctor, you're a fine man. Please write a prescription of your name and address for me.
My name and address. What for?
For free gardening. Maria will pay back here, and I will pay back in your garden.
Yeah, but my wife does our gardening.
Ah, so much the better. Then she will have sharp tools. Mine are terrible.
Yeah, but I don't need a gardener. All right, I need a gardener.
Come with me. We'll get Paco, and let's go while we're still ahead. My son, the surgeon.
I know. 9:07.
Oh, it's not like you to be late, Hannah.
It's not like you to remind me of it, so don't. I'm in no mood for it.
Oh, that's not like you either. This must be serious. Is there something I did?
Indirectly, yes. That Mrs. Gomez you brought to the clinic last Saturday got me so uptight, she ruined my whole weekend.
Good heavens, what happened?
When you and the boys left for the zoo, I asked her to bring me a clean sheet so I could change little Raymond's leg bandage.
And?
And she returns an hour later with the sheet neatly ripped into bandages.
Oh, no.
Of course, I thanked her. I mean, who am I to tell her that we haven't ripped sheets into bandages since World War I?
Well, after all, Hannah, you know, she isn't a nurse.
Surprisingly, I came to that same brilliant conclusion. So I switched her to the nursery to entertain the children.
Oh, good thinking.
Bad thinking. You know how she entertained them? By cutting paper dolls out of cardboard.
Well, what's wrong with that?
With Dr. Chegley's good surgical scissors?
Oh, no. I have a feeling I'm in trouble.
Yarby, coffee. Make it black and strong.
I'll get it for you, Doctor.
Oh, it isn't for me, Baker. It's for you. I want to see you in my office.
He didn't even toss his cap on the peg.
Now I know I'm in trouble. Your coffee, Doctor.
I told you to drink it. I want to be sure that you're wide awake when I tell you about the disaster that I experienced over the weekend.
Oh, I've already told her about Mrs. Gomez, Doctor.
Mrs. Gomez, Yarby, is your problem. What I'm speaking of is Mr. Gomez.
Mr.
Yes, that free gardener you sneaked into my shattered life. He showed up at my house on Sunday and insisted on pruning my plum trees.
What's wrong with that?
They're avocado trees.
Oh.
So I got him to work weeding the lawn. The minute I turned my back, he started working on my wife's prize roses.
Uh-oh.
By the time she caught up with him, he was pruning with a passion.
Oh, no.
Mrs. Chegley's beautiful tree roses are now bush roses.
Poor Mrs. Chegley must be a little upset.
Upset? Ah. I took a 24-hour non-stop chewing out from a woman whose language would melt a lumberjack's chainsaw.
I owe you both an apology.
Nonsense, Julia. All you did was try to help little Paco Gomez.
I'll help little Paco Gomez. Baker had better find a way to help little Morton Chegley.
But Mr. Gomez is only trying to pay for Paco's treatments.
Well, he acts more like a dissatisfied patient trying to get even. Now, Baker, you got me into this mess. It's up to you to get me out of it.
But how?
That's your problem. You have 1 week to solve it in. Now, when next Saturday rolls around, I want to see little Paco. No, free, garden. And that's a direct threat. All right. No. All right, bring in the first patient.
Yes, doctor.
Well?
I think you're looking at the first patient, doctor. Me.
Out! Out!
Corey? Hello? Anybody home?
We're in here. Hi, Mrs. Baker. Hi, Mom.
Well, hi, fellas.
Mrs. Gomez brought us home today.
Where is she?
Downstairs showing my school papers to Mrs. Wagadorn. Yeah, he got all A's and B's on his test. That's because his tendons are better.
His tendons?
He didn't miss any school this week.
Oh, you mean his attendance. What have you boys been doing?
We've been talking more foreign language.
Really? What did you learn today?
Fradres sein Cup.
Padre de what?
Fradres u dein Cup. Yeah, that means go mix up your own head.
Wait a minute. Now, that's Yiddish.
That's a foreign language, too.
Who taught you that, Mr. Cooper?
Somebody told you. Yeah, nobody can guess that, Lucky. It wasn't a guess. My mother's just smart, that's all.
I agree to that. Your mother has given treatment to my son, which has made him a genius. Of course, with the help of Dr. Chegley. Look at the school papers of Paquitos. A's and B's. I can wait to show them to Emilio.
Mrs. Gomez, there is something very serious that we must talk about.
Serious? The clinic is closed.
Oh, no, not yet.
You frighten me. Not only for Paco, but for myself. It has given me such happiness to help Nurse Hannah in her work with the children.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
And you should see the change in my Emilio. Sharpening his garden tools, smiling, singing, thinking what he will do to that beautiful garden of the wife of Dr. Chegley.
Oh, boy.
Oh, forgive me. This serious thing you wish to talk about, what is it?
Forget it, Mrs. Gomez. No es importante.
She says it's not important. Good see you tomorrow, Mrs. Gomez. Hasta mañana, Paco. Shalom, Mrs. Baker.
Yes, shalom. Well, boys, looks like I just flunked out in 3 different languages. Julia, Dr. Chegley has been asking for you.
Now what?
Well, what do you think? Did you have that little talk with Mr. and Mrs. Gomez? No, not yet. Not yet? No wonder she's late. Wait till he hears about this.
What?
That didn't take long.
You've had a whole week to explain things to that man.
I tried. But they're both so happy helping out.
Yeah, he's helping out all right. He's helping me right out of my home. What's the matter?
Mr. and Mrs. Gomez and Paco. And Mr. Gomez is carrying a garden hose and a pair of hedge clippers. Is there a back door to this room?
Yes, and I am using it. You're not.
But I don't understand. You mean Dr. Chegley does not want me to work in the garden of his wife anymore?
It isn't that he doesn't want.
But you said.
What I'm trying to say is that we're all embarrassed. Embarrassed?
You mean we have embarrassed you? This is unforgivable.
Yes. Really?
To embarrass a friend is an insult. Tell us how we embarrass you and we will stop immediately.
Thank you. Well, you see, you have embarrassed Dr. Chegley with your magnificent work as a gardener.
I have? How?
Now, give me a minute to work this out now, and I'll explain.
He is not pleased with my work?
Oh, he's so excited about your work he can hardly talk. That's what I'm trying to say. Your work is so magnificent that it has embarrassed Dr. Chegley.
My Emilio is a fine gardener, but I do not see how that could embarrass anyone.
If your husband were just a gardener, Mrs. Gomez, then no one would be embarrassed. But he is a specialist.
Emilio?
The work of a gardener is like a doctor's. If a man is merely a general practitioner of gardening, well, he's worth perhaps $2 or $3 an hour. But if a man is a specialist in roses, like your husband, he's worth at least $8 or $10 an hour.
$10 an hour?
And since he has already worked in Mrs. Chegley's garden for over 2 hours, he has earned $20, which is exactly the cost of Paco's treatment.
Then we are even?
To the penny. To the penny. That's what's so embarrassing to Dr. Chegley. If you continue your fine work in his garden, then you'll be doing to him exactly what you didn't want us to do to you. Forcing your charity upon a man too proud to mention it.
Could this be so?
Don't you see, Emilio, Mrs. Baker is right?
Yes, very strange. She does make sense with this explanation.
I do?
Yes. You see?
I see.
I feel terrible about this.
You should, Emilio. You never think of the other person, only of yourself.
I think of you. I think of Paco. I do what is best for us at our house.
Best, repairing a leaking faucet with a cork.
It is just temporary, until I can find a plumber's tool to replace the washer.
Why not let our neighbor, Mr. Johnson, make the repair like he offered?
If I want the sink broken, I'll break it myself.
Hold it. Now, before we go any further, may I tell Dr. Chegley that the account has been balanced?
Of course. I, Emilio, as head of our house, agree to everything you have said.
Good.
Head of the house, some head of the house. Mrs. Baker, I could tell you stories.
I'm sure you could. But right now, there's a story I would like to tell Dr. Chegley, and thank heavens it has a happy ending. You two talk to each other. I'll be right back.
You can talk to a man who never listens.
Try.
Who never listens?
That's what I said. Who never listens? Tú nunca oyes nada. Yo te hablo y te hablo y nunca me haces caso. Tienes cabeza de burro.
Tiene cabeza de palo. Usted siempre insiste.
Pero ¿por qué nunca me oyes?
Doctor.
Oh,
Doctor, what's wrong?
my wife's talking to me again. You know, the funniest thing happened. Remember those tree roses that Gomez pruned into midgets a few weeks back?
Yes.
Yesterday, Mrs. Chegley won first prize with them in a new category, the largest bush roses the judges had ever seen.
Buenos dias, ladies.
Mr. Gomez, we were just this second talking about you.
Yes, everybody's talking about my beautiful roses. Is the doctor in?
Is he expecting you?
I am. Listen, Gomez, little Paco's cough is gone, his bronchial condition cleared, and he's been restored to complete health. Now, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, doctor. And for that, we are most grateful to you, Mrs. Baker, and this lady, too.
Gracias.
Por nada.
That's fine, Gomez, fine. Now, if you'd like to show your gratitude, I want you to run right over to my wife's garden. She's waiting for you to get back to work.
Oh, this I will do gladly.
Good.
For only $8 an hour.
Wonderful. $8 an hour?
For you. A specialist of roses is worth 10.
Who told you that?
Your nurse.
You?
You!
You?
Now, wait a minute. Let's all have some coffee, and we'll discuss this thing calmly and, rationally. And without me.
$8 and 8 times 8 is 64.